we're actually gonna start off something light that we'll get into everything else. So, all right, the world's still on fire. We're trying to get back to normal a little bit. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So, your boy, Christopher
Nolan.
Ulysses Nolan.
That's a saint.
Ulysses.
He's a saint.
Christopher
You better watch
Wi-Fi.
what you say.
Nice.
Yeah, Nolan.
The long-awaited Tenet finally came out. The movie that cost $250 million to make, plus marketing, plus everything else who fucking knows. Came out this weekend I don't know. I'm not sure this is the new standard for pandemic. Okay, so a little precursor. So a couple weeks ago, New Mutants came out. Right now, for a 2-week total, that's sitting around 11 million. Not great, but considering, again,
It's something.
It's something. Tenet release.
Certainly less money was spent on making it, and even though they may have probably exceeded their advertisement budget due to the fact that it took so long to talk it out and get it out, I would still say it still probably didn't cost that much.
Yeah. So again, it's a whole. Okay, that movie is a whole mixed bag. I think Tenet coming into it, the only negative to it was that nobody knew what the hell it was about. But with all the actors involved, the director, everything else, they expect it to be mostly a slam dunk, another blockbuster. We'll see. Opening weekend, on a holiday weekend, by the way, it brought in $20.2 million.
Does it matter that it's a holiday weekend anymore?
Yeah. I mean, again, there's still a lot of people working. So, I mean, there's still a lot of people who were doing even still doing office work and things would still have that 4-day weekend.
Yes.
And even looking at that, it's still people just aren't going to theaters. Again, we went the day after New Mutants came out, and there's only 4 of us in there.
Yep.
When there's only two cinemas showing it
At 3:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
Yeah.
That does seem to be there should be more people because it's a Saturday. But to its defense, it's New Mutants. So, to its defense or its detriment, I'm not sure. But I'm not sure where the market was for that to begin with anyways, other than just you and me, Paul. Possibly D.
My take is on Tenet. They should have held it. They should have.
Until what exactly though?
Man, maybe the beginning of the year.
But why would that matter?
Because you would think, okay, even now we starting to open up a lot more, and with things getting more comfortable throughout the year, and 2021 being for most people expecting a better outlook. To me, that made more sense than put it out technically in the pandemic.
But here's the thing: you're assuming that the pandemic is going to go away by 2021.
I'm assuming a lot of things. I'm assuming a lot of things.
I mean, even the best estimates for vaccine availability are November, and even then they say it's not going to be widely available.
Well,
won't be distributed until months after. So you're talking about March?
I'm not even thinking about the vaccine. I'm just saying, even now, the world is a lot more open than it was a month ago. So I mean, for the first time on Monday, the holiday, I was coming home from work in the morning, and the streets was empty. That's when I knew, the world is open, because every other day it was busy, super busy. So I mean, it's something to say to think that it's going to get. And then after the election, you gotta figure that it's going to get better. Or things should be a little better and everything. I don't know. I just feel like 2021 would have been a better rollout for me.
I don't know if the election is going to help anything. I think people are going to be upset with the outcome either way. I will say it's, as far as you talking about, is this the new standard? The new standard may be a long game, because you're talking about that's a tenth of its budget, and it's got to make double its budget, because marketing is about the same amount as your budget. So it's basically you have to make double what you paid to make the movie, in order to get your money back.
I think they should have did something like Disney did with Mulan. I think Disney is going to save itself with Mulan. I really do.
Well, do we have numbers on Mulan?
I do not. I know it isn't that much.
Talk amongst yourself while I look up numbers for Mulan.
I know it isn't that much because either way, this is off topic. Well, actually, it's fine. We'll talk about it because again, it's status in cinemas right now. Mulan, again, different things I'm reading and looking at. It's a much different movie, both visually and thematically, from the original. This is a movie made more for adults. Like, yeah, there's some magical things in there.
Our age.
But it's mostly made for older kids and adults. So, how is that your target audience? Because again, there's a lot of things in there. And again, they ruin a lot of the things, but a lot of things in there are not meant for like little kids to be watching necessarily. It's not made for them. It's not a fun movie. Every review I hear about it is it's visually amazing, but boring and serious.
Well, I mean, more or less, what I'm talking about is the way they did it.
That's what I'm getting to. If your audience, if you're making a movie that's long, boring, and serious, you're making a movie for adults.
Mm.
Making a movie for adults, most adults are only going to be one, maybe two people watching it from home.
Yeah, you're right.
So making it $35, $25, whatever it is, I forget how much it was. $30. That's not worthwhile for a person by themselves to watch it, or even a couple. Like, yeah, if you do the math, if you're dying to watch it...
Depends on how bad trying to get in them guts.
There's Redbox.
Girl, I paid $30.
Redbox $1.29.
But she loves Mulan. That's her favorite movie. She wants to see the remake so bad.
Watch Mulan. That's fine. If you know it's a transaction going into it, but it's not one of those things where like everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm dying to pay $30 to watch
She
Mulan.
ain't paying $30.
I don't think I can do is say there's to put it out next year as a Nolan cut. When things pick up, put it out as a Nolan cut.
I guarantee, like whenever next year or the year after, whenever things get moderately back to normal, they will be re-releasing a lot of these movies to try to make some of the money back. Again, I mean, it did wonders for all these classics. I mean, it finally pushed that one Harry Potter movie over $1 billion, like 20 years later.
That one Harry Potter movie.
In box office.
Yeah.
I'm sure home release Harry Potter did
gangbusters.
Like
because every kid had Harry Potter at home. But with the problem with doing the home release like that. Now I like what they did with Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Mm.
That one where it was like $15 to rent it or $20 to own it. That's fucking brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but I guarantee they spent significantly less money on Bill and Ted Face the Music than they did on Mulan. So you have to make that money back.
No, of course. But again, my problem with, and that's why I think Tenet would have been a more interesting view of it. Because again, Disney, everything Disney does, they are going to assume it's for kids because it's a Disney name attached to it. But everything I'm seeing and hearing from Mulan is not for kids.
I mean, yeah.
So like again, like they're banking on every family in the country paying for it, and every family in China paying for it.
So, ding dong, may I interject? Looks here, I got another source that says Tenet made $156 million overseas.
Mm.
Yeah, don't doubt it. I mean, there's plenty of countries that are mostly back to normal.
How much did it cost to make it again? How much did it cost to make it?
The announced budget was $250 million.
So they
plus marketing, plus everything else. And again, that's only what they announced. It's not necessarily what officially was.
126 million. Sorry, so 30 million off, but it's still significantly better than closer to its target.
I think that
Mulan
the rollout
has 6 million.
I think the rollout was horrible, but I still think they'll get back their budget.
Well, and I guarantee if this next weekend is weak also, within a couple weeks it'll be on demand at home, whether it's through HBO Max or it's through just other VODs. It's gonna be available at home.
I think a lot of Tenet being released in theaters was at Christopher Nolan's behest.
How you guys doing? It's D Easy the Slim from the This Won't Last podcast. This is a pod clip of a whole podcast. If you want to hear more, you can go to Spotify, you can go to Apple Podcasts, you can go to Facebook, wherever you get your podcast from. We there. You can go to iHeartRadio, wherever. Go listen to the whole thing. Enjoy, players.